What's up everyone, it's Scotty with MoneyVest, and this is going to be a video in the Psychology of Investing, Money and Markets course. I'm going to be adding additional lectures over time as all of you have lifetime access to this course, and I'm also going to be making it available on YouTube for everyone to watch. And if you want to get more access and of course understand the psychology behind investing, trading, money and markets, I've pretty much poured my life's work into this course. You can join and of course enroll if you want to, and we're running a special discount. Again, there's going to be a 50% off coupon code LAUNCH if you want access to additional lectures in this psychology course, which I assure you is going to really change your life. It's going to alter your life when it comes to money and the psychology behind money and investing and trading and markets in general. So this is going to be a bonus lecture, and like I said, I'm going to be adding more tutorials and lectures for all the course members that have access to this over a lifetime. So you can have unlimited access to all the tutorials, and you can also share this with your family and your friends. So in this tutorial, we're going to be talking about, by the way, this right here is the Psychology of Investing, Money and Markets course. You can check this out. This entire curriculum is going to be there. There's over 30 plus video lectures along with the bonus content, which is videos like these, and 5+ hours of content. And there's also going to be a whole curriculum where I also go over my entire story, so you can learn about my story, an introduction, why psychology is so important when it comes to money, markets, and investing, and then all the different sections related to personal finance, markets, investing, and trading. We got the mind, body, and health. I'm going to be adding more sort of lectures and bonus tutorials over time, and this right here is the entire curriculum that you can access and of course take a look at. So again, link's going to be down below. We'd love to have you on board. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be going over what school did not teach you with regards to money, markets, investing, and trading. So this is mostly going to be geared towards money and income and long-term financial fulfillment. So the biggest problem I think that we have all faced, and I think that's one of the reasons why there's been a significant growth with regards to personal finance, is because there's never been any education or lessons related to personal finance or budgeting or income or taxes or negotiation or real estate, buying a home, or money in school. I had my education for the most part here in India, and then over in the US for a 4-year degree in finance. It wasn't like I was studying something else. I studied accounting and finance, and there was no courses. I can tell you that after hundreds of credits and hundreds of hours spent in the classroom majoring in finance, taking courses on economics, and of course accounting, management, marketing, coming from a business and commerce background, there was literally not a single class that I could think of that taught me anything about taxes, buying my first home, or budgeting, or investing, or running some of the more basic calculations with regards to how your money grows, how your net worth grows. And that is, I think, the biggest problem when it comes to the personal finance space, because a lot of people graduate, and again, this goes back to our parents' generation and the generation before them. Nobody was really taught how to manage money. Nobody was really taught how to invest, or how to negotiate, or how to buy your first home, or how to file taxes. I mean, these are some of the biggest problems, and these are everyday problems. Like, this is something that everyone has to do in their lifetime. Everyone has to go through that process of making money, investing money, buying their first home, filing taxes, and we are never taught that. We're always left to figure that out. And that's exactly why I wanted to build this course, wanted to create this Psychology of Investing, Money and Markets course to help you and your family members and everybody before you, after you, to have better understand how money works. I'm not saying that I'm the expert, right? I'm not saying that I'm the person with all the answers. No, I've also learned through trials and tribulations, through my own experiences, through making my own mistakes. And this is just my perspective on how I view money, on how I manage money, and how I invest, and how I file for taxes and negotiate and buy my first home and all that stuff. Like, this is just my life's of work after reading multiple books, after going through that experiences myself. So again, I'm not an expert, but just sharing you what's worked for me in sort of my journey with regards to money and again finances. So that's the biggest problem, and that's why I've kind of created this course. And I think it's really important to understand what school really trains us for, what school really teaches us, and what school trains us for. Because I spent, close to about $100,000 of my own money, right, getting loans and kind of my savings to go to the U.S., study for a 4-year degree in finance, then worked about a couple of years, and of course, can I justify spending that much money? The answer is yes, because had I not gone to the US, had I not spent all that money, had I not learned about finance and figured it out myself, I would have not been where I am today. So again, everything kind of worked in that fashion where you can kind of say that it was destiny for me to start MoneyVest, to go there to the US, learn about all these things, and start this by myself. But I don't regret spending on my education in the US. So I don't regret any of it. But if I knew everything I know now, if I knew back then, let's say 6 years ago, if I knew everything that I know now, yes, I would have done things differently in a more cost efficient manner. And I would have been a little bit more wise. I would have been a little bit more sort of understanding of how to actually spend money on education, and what's available out there versus what's not available out there, right? What's not, what is it that you're really going to school for? I think networking is one of the biggest additions that universities and colleges provide. Apart from the education, of course, it's a proper certification or degree that you're getting, or training that you're getting by going to school. But really, the point of this lecture and tutorial is that what are schools really training people for? And there are 3 types of income in the entire world. Whatever money that we generate, whatever money translates from one place to another, whatever transactions happen, at the end of the day, there's really 3 types of income that's available to us. And this right here are the 3 types of income. There is, number 1, the earned income. The second one is your business income. And the third one is your investment income. And these are the 3 different types of income. Whatever money that you make, whatever income that you generate, you can kind of segregate it into these 3 different buckets. Maybe you're watching this video, you're still in school. Maybe you're watching this video, you're running your own business. Maybe you're watching this video, you're closing in on retirement. Doesn't matter. Whatever money that's coming into your bank account every month or every day, you can segregate it into one of these 3 buckets, one of these 3 categories. And the reason why I've put down earned income in red is because that's the worst type of income out there. That is the worst type of income, and that is also the income that we are only trained for when we go to school, in my opinion. Because I went to school, I was trained to become a really good employee. I was trained to do jobs, to do tasks, right? That's why we're given homeworks, and that's why we're getting reading assignments. That's why we're given certain tasks to complete, and then we're graded on that. And that's what schools, in my opinion, are training you for, is to become a really good employee who can do tasks and who can generate earned income. And I'll go over in more detail what these actually mean. But this is, in my opinion, what schools and universities and colleges are teaching you to do, right? Is to become a good employee to generate earned income. Now that is obviously coming at a huge disadvantage, because earned income is going to constantly force you to trade your time for money. Right? It's going to constantly trade time for money. That's what earned income is all about. And in our previous tutorials and lectures in this course, I've constantly explained why it is so important for everyone to strive to get more time. Why it's so important for everyone to focus on how I can free up more of my time, how I can obtain enough wealth or enough money so I can free up my time and be my own boss, and obviously not have to worry about reporting anywhere or to anyone, and I'm not sort of suffocated by my restrictions on my time, right? Because the book 5 Regrets of the Dying, one of the biggest regrets obviously people had was working too hard, or not having enough time to themselves, or not having enough time to travel. And the most happy person, like in other words, the most fulfilled and more happy you're going to be if you wake up every day and just realize that I can do whatever I want, right? I'm in charge of my own time. And that, in my opinion, is the thing that most people, in fact, everyone should be striving for, is how I can actually get more time in my life so I can spend that with my loved ones, right? With my family, my friends, and, focus on my purpose, focus on my calling. So that's one of the biggest motivators for me, is that how can I gain more time in my own life and use it and spend it wisely. So earned income essentially comes in the way, because earned income is constantly trading your time for money, right? So you spend hours working at a job to trade your time for money. Whereas business income is leveraging your time for money, right? So that's what business income is about. And there's a slight difference. It's not trading your time for money, but instead it is leveraging your time for money. So you leverage your time and skills to generate revenue and grow your business. Instead of getting paid by the hour, you get paid based on your skills and the solutions that you bring to the table. So if you are, let's say, going to become a plumber doesn't get paid by the hour. It gets paid. Yes, you got an early hourly rate, but as the saying goes, a plumber doesn't get paid for banging on the pipes for an hour. A plumber gets paid to know where to bang, right? So that's the level of expertise, that's the level of skills that you're getting in order to become really efficient and valuable at your work. Same goes true for, let's say, a surgeon, a very high qualified doctor, or an engineer. It's not about the amount of time they spent, but the level of efficiency and experience they bring to the table. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go out there and start your own business. You can upgrade your skills, you can upgrade your time to a point where instead of getting paid, let's say $20, $25, $30, $40, $50 an hour, now you're able to be more efficient and with more experience and are able to leverage your time and your skills for higher pay, right? So generating more money. So you could be a solopreneur, you could be an entrepreneur, you could be a person working for yourself, self-employed, whatever the case might be. The idea here is to really upgrade your level of skills so your time overall becomes more valuable. Because the idea always is to leverage your time and skills to make more money. So the idea would be to make more money by spending less and less time. So that's why efficiency and experience is so important. And last but not least, which is perhaps in my opinion the most important, is investment income. And that is leveraging money for money. It's not leveraging time, it's leveraging money for money. So you're leveraging existing capital to generate more money through smart investment decisions, obviously in stocks, real estate, bonds, whatever it is, but you are generating some passive income, passive cash flow. So you're allowing for your money to work for you, right? So you're not spending time, you're spending money to make more money, right? So that is the third level of income. That's investment income, which kind of categorizes everything. That's, your interest earned through bank savings account, real estate, rental income, bonds, coupons, you got stocks, dividends, everything kind of falls in that bucket, is where you're not really spending any time. Yes, there's going to be maybe some time spent on research and analysis, but really it's you're allowing your money to work for you. So those are the three different types of income. And that's why, again, you can kind of make a logical assumption that, okay, earned income is probably the worst one because you're constantly trading your time for money. And that, again, is kind of robbing you of your most precious asset and more valuable asset, which is time. And in my previous tutorials and lectures, I've talked about how time and money go hand in hand. They're both equally important. The idea or the goal is to obtain plenty of both, but I would much rather spend my time more wisely. I'd be more cautious in spending my time than I would be in spending my money, because money can be made back, right? You can generate money back. If you lost money, like money can come back, but time cannot. Time is the one single most valuable asset to you, right? Apart from your health, time is the only other valuable asset that you have, that God's given you, that you can utilize to spend it on better good habits, or you can utilize for instant gratification and not so great habits, and you'll see the results, right? It's really, it all comes down to how people spend their time. That's going to determine how well or not so well people do in their future. It's all coming down to how you spend your time. So there's a couple options that I've laid out for people. And that's why it's so important to really focus on investment income as your end goal, because at the end of the day, like, you really want to free up your time and live off of your investments so that investments are generating more return, a specific interest rate every single year, whether that's invested in the stock market, generating a 7-8% on average, or it's invested in a real estate portfolio, generating some rental cash flow, rental passive income, or it's dividend stocks, or it's bonds, whatever it is, you really want to aim for your investment income. That should always be your end goal, right? So you should really just go from earned income to, at the end, investment income. That's really the goal of people getting there. Unfortunately, many people get stuck in the earned income cycle. They never invest. They never look at the markets. They never invest their money, leverage their money to make more money. They never do that, and they constantly get stuck in the earned income cycle where they're living paycheck to paycheck, they're upgrading their lifestyle, they're living above their means, and they're not able to essentially build a life for themselves in the future where they can free up time and generate income from the money that they invested. So there's a couple options that I wanted to lay out. Option number one, obviously, that's the current option that I'm in on at the moment, is that you get a job. Because in the beginning, right, if you're just getting started, obviously you can't go out there and invest if you don't have any money, right? So you obviously need money. You need capital to invest in the first place. So that's why I said that the end goal should always be to generate some type of investment income, some type of passive income or rental income, so that you can live off of that for the remainder of your life, right? And we've discussed a lot of different things in detail in previous lectures in this course. But step number one is to get a job, obviously, right? So if you're a fresh graduate out of school, the idea is to get a job, generate earned income, because in the beginning you're kind of set up in that way. You have to trade your time for money, right? You don't have the expertise or the capital to get started right away with step 2 or 3. You need to enter the workforce. You need to get a job. You need to earn income by trading your time. Step 2 is get experience, get skills, knowledge, and capital to then start a business, right? Business or whatever it is, right? If you're self-employed or if you want to upgrade your skills to work within the company that you're working in, it's something that you absolutely love. You love the company culture, you love the management, you love your job. That's great. Do something so that you can actually gain more experience, gain more skills, upgrade your skills and your knowledge to demand a higher rate, demand a higher salary, to leverage your skills. That's the key here. It's not necessarily to go out there and start earning money through a business and to start a business. That's not going to be an option for everyone. I understand that starting a business is not an option for everyone, but the idea here is to leverage your time. Instead of getting paid a flat rate every single day, every single hour for 365 days a year and getting a 2%, 5% raise every year and kind of moving in that linear fashion, you compound by leveraging your skills and your knowledge so that you get demanded, your demand is high, and of course you get a higher rate of return on your skills. So that's the whole idea of step 2, is to leverage and experience, skills, knowledge, capital to start a business or to upgrade your pay. And step 3 should always be invest that capital and allow money to work for you and create passive income streams through rental incomes, dividends, stocks, interest, whatever the case might be, right? It's really just about flipping the game here, because businesses, credit card companies, banks know this secret very well, is that the more you lend, the more money you make. And the more people borrow, the more in debt they continue to go. So you really want to build a life where you're debt-free. You've of course got good debt, not bad debt. I've got a video on that as well, good debt versus bad debt, but you're really not essentially a slave to debt, to bad debt, and you're not a slave to time. So you're really just kind of opening up and freeing up more time by generating more income streams and generating a solid portfolio of real estate, cash, stocks, bonds, whatever the case might be. Now, of course, option 2 is just skipping step 2. So option 2 is essentially skipping step 2, is essentially if you want to keep a job, if you are in a job that's having a very linear progress, 2 to 3%, 5%, 7% appraisal or raise every single year, and that's totally fine. I understand that not everyone, let's say, has the motivation to start a business or is not ambitious enough to go out on their own to start a business or to be self-employed or to even upgrade their skills or whatever the case might be to demand a higher pay. If you're comfortable with where you are, then step 2 is regardless of very important. It's that investment income needs to be generated over the long term. Like, that's something that everybody needs to do, is to invest part of their income and allow the money to work for you. And that creates a passive income, like I said, through rentals, dividends, stocks, whatever the case might be. Option 3 is the worst type of option, is to, again, get a job, generate earned income, and live paycheck to paycheck and constantly trade your time for money and never really build anything, because that is going to keep you working until the age, whatever that number is, until you die. Because Warren Buffett pretty much mentioned, if you don't make money in your sleep, you will work until the day you die. And that's what he said, and that exactly is the whole point of this video. And finally, by constantly trading your time for money, you will end up with no time and money. By leveraging your time and skills for money, you will increase the value of your time, unlock unlimited earnings potential. And by leveraging your money for money, investing capital, you will have plenty of time and money, only possible if you decide to front load your life and remove instant gratification. That's why psychology and habits are so important and are basically the cornerstone of this course, is because it's really important to front load your life. By front load, I mean the first 10, 20 years of your working age need to be very, very aggressive in your investing and your saving. And the reason I say that is because that allows you to position yourself with compound interest, right? The earlier you invest, the sooner you invest, and the more you invest earlier, the higher that number is going to be 20, 30, 40 years down the road by the time you get to retirement. The later you begin and the less you begin with is going to make your chances of ending up with a solid portfolio, solid base, that much difficult, right? Because we've done many calculations on that. We've talked about this on the channel plenty of times, that it's really important to start early and start aggressively as opposed to starting late and starting with very little. So hope you all enjoyed this video, and I just really wanted to go over this in more detail, the 3 different types of income. And I believe schools really teach us to become good employees and how to generate that earned income, which there's nothing wrong with that, right? That's the starting point for everyone as we are first getting started after school, as we are graduating. But at some point, I think the decisions need to be made in order to how do I get there from my trading my time and time for money to leveraging my time and then leveraging money for money eventually. And kind of there has to be a progression moving towards step 3, which is how do I generate that investment income so that I free up my time and I have plenty of income coming in regardless of whether I'm there or not. So that's the whole idea behind this video. Hope you all enjoyed it, found it helpful. Again, make sure that you drop a like. If you have any questions, let me know. And again, link's going to be down below for this course if you're interested in joining and accessing all the other tutorials with lifetime access as well. So happy investing. I'll see you all in the next video.